welcome back to another Locker Room podcast. I'm your host, Gregory, and we got with me today, yet again, Tyler Croome and Chris. How you guys doing today?
Not too bad. How are you guys doing?
Not too shabby.
Not too
Living
shabby.
life per usual.
Got this nice new cleanup going on here. I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Looking sharp, buddy.
That looks
Thank
pretty
you,
good.
thank you.
Yeah, looking like you're all primed for your date tonight, eh?
Oh yeah, pretty good. Pretty primed up for that, you know. It's gonna be a good evening.
Right on. What are you doing? What do you got planned for your date tonight?
What do I got planned for tonight? Well, we're going out for dinner. We're going out for dinner.
Hey,
Go out to McDonald's, get the McPicks menu.
I gotta get those Pokemon cards that are coming out right now. You know what I'm saying?
hey, that's important.
Yeah, those are
priorities,
important,
man. Priorities.
Yeah, obviously.
Sure, you mean business with that.
You got to catch them
Those
all.
trading car stonks. No. We're going to Original Joe's, and then I've got some evening date
class.
night plans here at the house, and probably gonna set up my bedroom to look, or not my bedroom, but like my basement to look like a movie theater sort of thing. We're gonna do like a movie theater night.
Gonna turn the lights down real low, light some candles.
Maybe lock the door and turn the lights down low.
You see, that's the song I was thinking of too. I didn't know what key to sing it in. I didn't want to look like a fool, so thank you.
You're welcome. I got you. All right, enough dibber jabber we got going on. We got a few things to talk about today. We got a future about a couple players. We got a futures of Sam Bennett, Tony Delangelo. We got potential top 6 winners options for Toronto. Who to trade for? We don't know. And then we also have news on Joe McGinley on how he is going to be coaching for the minor hockey league in Kelowna.
Nice.
Of course, after that, you got Chris on the mic with the fantasy draft and another 10 questions for you guys on the trivia, so you can come out on top today.
All right, so let's talk first about the Toronto Maple Leafs looking for a top 6 winger. So I saw a report today. You know, looks like by deadline, they're looking to have a top 6 winger that can be competent and play. So that makes me think that there's really not a lot of hope that Joel Thornton's going to be back anytime soon. And if so, that they're maybe going to put him more in a bottom 6 role. Their budget's pretty tight. Chris, who do you think they're going to be going for?
Yeah, no, it's tough because obviously Wayne Crane, he was probably the best I've seen him in a while playing with the Leafs. He fit in really well. So I would have to think they're going to have to go after another big type of player. I don't think they go after like what Vancouver did, how Vancouver went and got like Tyler Toffoli. I don't think they go after a player like that. I think it's got to be another power forward type player. And obviously it's the contract too, because I'm not sure what kind of, exactly how much space they got. So I think it all depends on that. As much as I don't say they should go after a guy like a player type like Toffoli, I think maybe Bobby Ryan from the Detroit Red Wings might be a guy that can go after, because I know he's on a pretty good contract. So maybe he's the guy they can look at.
I was also thinking potentially, I mean, you're a Flames fan, so you may not like it, but Sam Bennett. You know, I think it'd be a little bit more of a gamble, not a sure shot. But I saw a trade proposal, popped out there as a rumor. Potentially the Leafs could look to maybe move Pierre Engvall for Sam Bennett. I don't know if that's something that the Flames would want to do with his surgeons. We'll get into his future later. But another potential option I think could be maybe Jake Virtanen from the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, I think you put the nail on the head there for Virtanen. I think he's the guy that they could really use, because he's on like the fringe top 6 for the Canucks. We know what he can do. We've seen it in junior. We know what he could do. So I think Virtanen's one of those guys where he could really fit in well. Yeah. The only thing this year is you would say in years past, well, they're trading out of their division, they're trading them to the East. No big deal. But this year, that's both for Calgary and Vancouver, that's an in-division trade they're making. So we'll see if that factors in a little more to it or not. But there's always that to factor in.
I'm thinking this might be an ideal trade, candidate for Vancouver too, because, Travis Dermott could be a guy they could bring in return. I mean, if you're Vancouver, you're looking to bring in a potential top 4 piece for the blue line, that could be Travis Dermott, right? So we'll see how it plans out. But I think Dermott would be a good fit in Vancouver.
Definitely help their defense, their decor as well, because I know we discussed it before about the Canucks defense and how kind of it's been bad, right? So I think adding a piece like that, a young piece, it'd really help them out, right? So
Absolutely.
Agreed. Definitely agreed. As you guys were talking about earlier, Sam Bennett. What do you guys think about his future at all right now, currently?
Well, I'm gonna give Chris first dibs on this, as he's the self-proclaimed Flames fan of the group here.
Yeah. So I think when we look at,
oh yeah, sorry,
at...
Greg. I totally forgot you were a Flames fan there. My bad.
All right.
I'm not that irrelevant. Okay.
Looking at Sam Bennett here, there was a kind of a shit show going on with him. I mean, came out from his agent and stuff that he wanted to change the scenery and not getting the ice time. He was a 4th overall pick in the first round. I think it was 2012. No, somewhere around there. I don't remember what year it was. Might have been 14. But anyways, that doesn't really matter. So he was playing on like the 4th line with Calgary, then got to be a healthy scratch. For whatever reason, didn't make a lot of sense because they had back-to-back games where if they wanted fresh bodies, they could have taken him out then. They didn't. And then he went on the top line with Johnny Gaudreau and Sean Monahan against the Oilers. And he looked really good. Played on that same line again on Tuesday night against Winnipeg. Also looked very good. Didn't get on the score sheet, but he did look good. So I think either they're trying to raise his value as much as they can, or they're trying to really find that piece to play with those two guys. And I mean, Sam Bennett does have a lot of skill to him. He doesn't have that, first round where he was picked type of skill, but I think he could really fit in well with the Flames there on that top line. And if he does well enough and, raise some trade value, they can actually get a lot for him. So we'll have to see what happens there. But I think there's probably a 50-50 chance he stays or he goes.
Okay. Yeah. So I just double checked. It was the 2014 draft. So you were close. Yeah. So this thing with Bennett, right? Like he fits the Calgary Flames style, right? Like he's hard-nosed.
Yeah, he totally does.
He plays north-south. He gets in your face, right? He's kind of basically what Matthew Tkachuk's turned into, right? And so ultimately, I mean, if you're Calgary, the best case scenario is he starts to really become that like playoff Sam Bennett full time in the regular season, and you're good, right? Your top 6 looks complete. So we'll see if he can do that. But honestly, like I almost think he might just achieve that with a change of scenery as well. So it'll be interesting if the offers are good when he's playing this good, then you can sell high. But it's a bit of a gamble, I think, because we're not quite sure what we're going to get from Sam Bennett, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, 100% agree.
And of course, other players that we're talking about today, Tony Delangelo. What do you guys think about him? What do you guys think's in store for him in the next upcoming weeks?
I think he's an unreal offensive defenseman. Skill-wise, I think he is worth his salt. However, we're not sure if his behind-the-scenes drama is what teams are willing to gamble on right now.
How so?
Well, there was a fight between him and a couple players in New York after a game, and it's just PR. So he's a PR nightmare. Ultimately, every single team that he's been for has moved him out because I believe he was a 1st-round pick at one point. Like Tony Delangelo was a high-profile player, right? And he's got the skill set to like really dominate in today's NHL. It just seems to be that teams don't want to keep him around the organization. I think we're starting to see why. There are some teams interested. We've seen reports that teams are interested. Because his skills are attractive. Like he's a power play quarterback, right? Like he's got skills that kind of don't really come along every day. And so we'll see if he gets moved. I'm not sure in today's political climate that a team will necessarily be willing to take him on. The deal, I think the Rangers might have to sweeten the deal to move Delangelo out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, agree. I think for whatever teams that may want him or may look at a deal, I think they just worry about the backlash, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're going to really improve their team with Tony Delangelo, but there's obviously going to be all the media stuff, the media attention, looking at Delangelo and saying, "Oh, you took this guy on," blah blah blah. I think there comes to a point where you can try to work with the guy. He's still young. right?
Yeah.
So if you work with him, try to get him straight. This could be a real steal for any team getting a player like Tony Delangelo.
Definitely, for sure.
So yeah, I think there's still a future for him in the NHL. A lot of people are saying he's just going to go to the KHL, which could be a viable option if no one obviously gets a deal done with him, because he's not just going to sit at home in New York and do
No.
nothing. He's
Yeah,
going to want to
probably not.
play, especially with that skill set. So
Yeah.
I think teams could make a move for him, try to work with him, talk with him, see where he fits with that type of team, and go from there. But team could get a steal for sure.
Yeah, Tony to me seems like a guy that needs to go to a veteran team, right? So if we're looking at a team like, say, San Jose, I mean, if they can get a decent pick back as well for taking on Delangelo, I mean, that could potentially be an ideal situation. But other than that, I'm not sure if it's really going to be. If I was a general manager with a young core, like, say, for example, Vancouver or even Columbus for that matter, I wouldn't think to take him in, because I think you don't want to have a project when you have a young core that you're trying to worry about, right?
Still a little bit of the, not to say like immature, but like still of a maturing stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right about that.
Fair enough. And then moving on, of course, Joe McGinley. I saw Joe McGinley earlier this week. Is going to be coaching some minor hockey in Kelowna. And growing up, me watching hockey, of course, Joe McGinley is probably one of my favorite players to watch and like witness play. So, of course, being a Flames fan, like that just overall just put it on the top sort of there. So seeing one of like my hockey heroes kind of growing up and then seeing him giving back to the community is like a super huge thing. What do you guys think about that?
Again, I'll hand this off to Chris. He can take this.
Yeah, no, I remember my first podcast that I talked with Tyler about, how I met Jerome, obviously in Kamloops. He played for the Blazers. That's where for all minor hockey, I wore number 12 because of him.
Yeah.
I have his jersey in my closet there. He's what motivates me. He's who I model myself after, not only like on the ice, but off the ice. He's a class act guy. I don't think anyone can say, you can't really say much bad about him. I guess in him going to Kelowna too, I think got a cool story there. It was at the H2O water park in Kelowna. I think this is about maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
I was there with my dad and just chilling, and so we go in, and sure as shit, there he is.
Yeah,
there he is in the pool with a couple of his kids, and most people might be kind of like starstruck by it, and obviously I am, because he's my idol and stuff. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Just let the guy go, let him have his family time and stuff. I'm sure he doesn't need a bunch of attention from fans and stuff. So I'm just like, all right, it's cool. I got to see him and stuff, but at the same time, I'm just letting him have his time. And that dude is fucking built, man. So that was pretty cool to see Jerome there. So I've seen him, met him a couple times. Awesome guy, nothing bad to say. And I think he'll be a really good coach too with that U15 team in Kelowna.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, it's really cool that you got to meet him in person. He's a legend of the game. I mean, for me, like, he was drafted obviously by Dallas. It's unfortunate that he didn't play here, but it's cool to see he got to play back in Canada. And for me, anytime you can see a legend of the game or a highly respected, player in the game taking the time to give back to the younger generations and to instill those values and work ethics, I think it's awesome, right? And on that note, I mean, Dan Hamius had a Zoom call with the staff and players at Caribou Hockey, and he took time out, and he's a busy man, and he took time out of his day to instill into the players and staff here in the North, and I think that was just awesome. So, no, I think it's really cool, and I mean, there's gonna be a lot of very lucky kids that get to be coached by such an awesome guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got quite the skill set that he can bring to the table for those kids, definitely, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on. We got fantasy draft next. How is fantasy looking this week, Chris?
Yeah, not bad. There hasn't been a lot of movement and stuff with different players and stuff. Jack Rossovic for Columbus has looked very good so far in his short stay so far with Columbus. He's putting up points. He's filling a good role with John Tortorella on their team.
Yep.
So I've really liked what he's brought to the table. Another guy would be from actually the San Jose Sharks is Logan Couture.
Yeah.
Every time I'm watching the Sharks and seeing what's going on with them, I always see Logan Couture on the score sheet. So I'm really impressed with him. I think a lot of people forget about him as he's a top player. He's getting all the ice time in San Jose, and he's producing. So I've really liked what I've seen out of him. Another guy, Tyler, I know you know him very well. Jake Ottinger from the Dallas
Mhm.
Stars. He's filled in very well with Dallas. Is Bishop hurt, or is he just getting more time in net?
Bishop has been on the IR since at the beginning of the playoffs.
Right. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that's Kudobin who's in there, right? Yeah. Okay. I always get my goaltenders mixed up there in Dallas with a lot of good options there. So there's 3 guys. Tyler, you got anybody else?
Let's see. Well, I say one guy, Sam Bennett, he's getting big minutes now in Calgary. So he's producing and he's looking like he could be a guy to pick up. I don't know if it's going to sustain it. It could happen. That's yet to be seen. But as of right now, if you're looking for someone to plug a hole and put up some points, Sam Bennett's your guy.
True. Yep.
Yeah, again, Jack Rossovic. I just picked them up earlier this week, and I'm super thankful that I did. Honestly, like right now, I think that's it. I think those are the only real changes. Like, there's a lot of players out right now with COVID.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So that's a game changer,
right? So that changes it. Yeah, no, I think that's it. Obviously, like last week, Chris Dreger, the goalie in Florida, he's a guy you should pick up if he's still available. As we said, Jake Ottinger from Dallas. I'd say that's really about it. Also, Vancouver's not putting up anything right now, so don't pick up any Vancouver Canucks.
Stay away from them. Yeah. Matthew Joseph from Tampa Bay as well. Is looking good, filling a role there in Tampa Bay very well. So I've liked what I've seen out of him. Obviously, Tampa Bay's been playing Nashville the last couple of games, so racking up the goals there against those guys who are, like I've discussed before, in a tough split situation. Any guys on Tampa, you get them, use them. But
actually,
yeah,
I'm just scrolling through the players available right now in my pool. Who's hot right now? Jake Allen from Montreal.
Oh yeah, he's been solid in that.
Yep. Casey DeSmith from Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Mike Smith from Edmonton. He's heating up. Ryan McDonough from Tampa Bay, like Chris said. Anybody from Tampa right now?
True. So what I'm getting at here is pick up Tampa Bay people.
Yeah.
Toss your Canucks. Got it.
Also a guy that I would just keep my eye on right now is Pierre-Olivier Joseph from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I agree. I think he'll get some good minutes there in Pittsburgh for sure.
Yeah, and I think as of right now, that's about it. I'd say maybe Matthias Janmark from Chicago.
I was thinking that too. Yeah,
he has found his scoring touch again, and he's being relatively consistent. So yeah, he could be a guy to plug some holes.
Cool, excellent. Good to see a good update on our fantasy draft as always. And we'll move on to the hockey trivia that we have going on here today. I got another 10 questions for you guys lined up. See who comes out on top between you two.
Let's go. Let's get this going. I want to keep holding on to my crown.
It's true. Tyler's pulling away with his crown pretty hard. Chris, gotta pick up that slack, buddy.
Hey.
Hey. All right. Who is the only coach ever suspended in the Stanley Cup Finals? Barry Trotz, Pat Quinn, Al Arbor, and Jack Adams.
It's not Jack Adams. I want to say maybe Pat Quinn.
And I don't think it's Trotz either.
No, it's not. I don't think so.
I don't think he's the type of guy. But Pat Quinn, he had a fire to him. I think he could be an option there. Al Arbor too, but I think
Pat Quinn.
Both the legend himself, Pat. Yeah.
You guys are both locking in on Pat?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Correct answer is Jack Adams.
Fuck.
Yeah.
We have a Jack Adams award for Coach of the Year, and he's the guy that gets suspended.
The fourth game of the 1942 Stanley Cup Finals ended in a near riot. In the final minute, Detroit Eddie Wares drew a misconduct penalty and then a $50 fine for arguing and refusing to leave the ice.
Of course.
Hey,
the referee, Mel Harwood, dropped the puck for the faceoff while Wares was still on the ice and promptly called a too many men penalty on Dan Gorso. Gorso threw down his stick and gloves and was fined a 25 by Harwood. At the end of the game, Red Wings coach Jack Adams punched Harwood in the face following a profanity-laced outburst as fans booed the officiating and littered the ice with paper, peanuts, and even a woman's shoe. NHL President Frank Calder and referee Harwood were escorted out of the rink under police protection, and
Damn.
Calder suspended Adams indefinitely.
Oh my goodness.
Damn.
Good way to start it.
No
Good
kidding.
way
eh?
to start. That's a banger to start on. All right. What was the nickname for the Los Angeles Kings line that featured Dave Taylor, Charlie Simmer, and Marcel? Dione?
Dion.
Marcel Dion. Yeah.
Dion. There you go. We've got the Punchline, the Legion of Doom, the Triple Crown line, and the West Coast Express.
Triple Crown.
I thought it might be the Legion of Doom.
You're locking in on Legion of Doom?
Yeah, I'm locking in.
All right. The Triple Crown line is the actual answer. Chris got this one. Easy. Combined for 328 points in the 1980 and 81 season, becoming the first line in NHL history to where each player scored 100 points or more in a same season.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a lot of points. Like, God
That is-
damn.
That is a lot.
Who replaced his own brother as head coach of the Washington Capitals? Terry Murray, Milt Schmidt, Bruce Boudreau. That's wrong. Bruce Boudreau. There we go. That's probably wrong.
That sounds about right.
And then Jim Schonenfield.
Is it Jim Schonenfield? I'm locking it on that. I don't see.
Locking in on Jim. Okay.
I got no clue. So.
Chris, you want to try and go for the other three, or are you going to lock in on Jim as well?
No, what was the other ones? What was Bruce Boudreau, and what were the other two?
Milt Schmidt and Terry Murray.
Terry Murray. Fuck it.
Terry Murray is correct, actually.
Hey.
Wow.
Tyler, you slacking. What's
missed-
going
okay,
on?
Hey, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. All right, easy.
Following his final season as an active player in the 1981 and 82, Terry Murray became the assistant coach and was promoted to the Capitals head coach position in the middle of the 1989 and 90 NHL season, replacing his brother Brian. Under Murray's guidance, the Capitals advanced farther into the NHL playoffs than ever before, winning 2 rounds before being swept by Boston in the conference finals.
That makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. I don't know. What curse was blamed for the New York Rangers Stanley Cup championship drought from 1940 through to 1994? The Simpsons curse, the Dutton's curse, the Chapman's curse, or the Gorman's curse?
The Chapmans.
Okay, Chapman's. Chris?
Simpsons. Fuck it. I don't know. I have no
Dutton's
idea.
curse is the correct answer we've got today. And during World War II, the New York Americans suspended operations due to many of their players entering the armed forces. After the Madison Square Garden management
Oh my
Sorry,
goodness.
joking. I'm choking on my own saliva. Apologies. Anyways, on a long-standing promise to allow the Americans' return, Red Dutton, the coach of the general manager of the Americans, bitterly declared that the Rangers would never win a cup for as long as he lived. Dutton's curse apparently worked, and he died in 87 at the age of 88. The Rangers were on their 47th season without having won a cup.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a long drought.
That is a lot.
Which Calgary Flames goaltender had 3 assists in one game? Rick Wamsley, Trevor Kidd, Jeff Reese, or Mika Kiprusoff?
Mika Kiprusoff.
Fuck, I don't even know this, and I should know this.
Honestly, it probably isn't Mika Kiprusoff. That's just like whenever I think
No, it's-
Calgary Flames, I think Mika. I actually would bet
That's
that it's
fair.
not.
Same. I don't. He's not a guy to be running out of his net and shit like that. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's him.
It
All
might
right, so
be.
Mika's off the table.
It might be Trevor
Mika.
Kidd.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking Trevor Kidd as well because I know he had a decent stint with the Flames.
I'll say Trevor Kidd.
Yeah, that's
Both
kind of
locking
what
in
I'm
Trevor?
thinking. Yeah.
Jeff Reese played 26 games for the Flames in 1992 to 1993, posting an impressive 14-4-1 record. The highlight of his time in Calgary came on February 10th, 1993, when he entered the NHL record book by posting 3 assists in one game. And that was a 13-1 victory over San Jose. San Jose got decimated that game.
Yeah, the Sharks used to be pretty brutal.
Yeah, because that's just kind of when they came in. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who was the first African American hockey player named to a Team USA Olympic roster? Mike Greer, Dustin Byfuglien, Jordan Greenway, or Seth Jones?
Dustin Byfuglien.
Okay. So you said Jordan Greenway was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Jones was the other, and who was the first one?
Mike Greer.
Going with Mike.
You guys are both incorrect.
Is it Seth Jones?
It's Jordan Greenway.
No way.
On January 1st, 2018, actually, was selected. The man himself, Jordan Greenway, was selected to compete in the 2018 Winter Olympics, becoming the first African American named to a U.S. Olympic hockey roster.
Huh.
I find that hard to believe that it took it till 2018 to have that happen.
Right? That's
why I didn't
that's
pick Greenway.
recent.
Well, yeah, especially when you had like a guy like Dustin Byfuglien from Minnesota.
Yeah,
Like that doesn't make any sense.
There's definitely some options there, so I'm kind of
Yeah. He's also the first player to play in the Olympic Games, the NCAA tournament, and the Stanley Cup playoffs in the same season.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, that's a lot of high-end hockey.
also played in the World Juniors too at the States. I remember him; he was the beast.
Oh yeah, he was good.
Mm-hmm. All right, next one we got is, what number did Martin Brodeur wear for the New Jersey Devils? 30, 31, 1, or 33?
The big 3-0.
30.
Both are correct on this one. The face of the franchise, Brodeur had 12 straight seasons of 30 or more victories. While he briefly played for the Blues at the end of his career, no player is more indefinable as the Devil than number 30.
St. Louis Blues legend Marty Brodeur.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
St. Louis. All right. Who was the only player to win the Hart Memorial Trophy as league MVP during a season that he played for 2 different teams? Dominic Hasek, Joe Thornton, our fan favorite here, Eddie Shore.
Eddie Shore.
Eddie Shore's back.
Let's
and
go,
Alexander Ovechkin.
Well, it's not Ovechkin.
I'm gonna go Joe Thornton
It's yeah.
because Boston. He might have went to Boston to San Jose.
And who was the first option again?
Dominic Hasek.
I don't think it was him. So yeah, maybe Thornton.
Sure, you don't want to go Eddie Shore?
No, I already know Eddie Shore's history. It can't be Eddie Shore. He was a lifer in Boston. So yeah, let's go Thornton.
Joe Thornton's correct.
Hey, there we go.
And Chris actually nailed it right on the head. After a 10-game losing streak in 2005 and 06, San Jose Sharks traded Brad Stewart, Wayne Primo, and Marco Strum to the Boston Bruins in exchange for the star player Joe Jumbo Thornton. To trade re-energized the team, and Thornton tallied 92 points in 58 games with the Sharks after the trade. finishing the season with the league-leading 96 assists and 125 points total. He was rewarded with both the Hart Memorial Trophy and the NHL's MVP and the Art Ross Trophy as the league's top scorer.
Wayne Primo, the father of goaltenders prospect Caden Primo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually good. It's actually some decent pieces the Sharks gave up too. So I was kind of expecting it to be like when the Sharks big time won it, but no, they gave up some good pieces too. But yeah, that's definitely a big that's definitely a Thornton stat line too. He gets 92 assists. You'd be like, oh fuck, probably got like 150 points. No.
That's fair.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Next question we got for you guys is what was Teemu Solani? I was close. I was like, it was like I'm like it's gonna be either Selene or Solani. But Teemu Solani's nickname: the Flying Finn, Mr. Fantastic, the Finnish Flash, or the Finisher.
Finnish Flash.
What was the first one again?
The Flying Finn.
I want to say it's the Flying Finn.
The Flying Flash is the correct answer. Once again, Chris taking it over here today.
I'm getting dethroned.
He is getting dethroned totally right now.
Oh.
Nicknamed as the Finnish Flash, Solani used his elite speed to evade opposition defenders. He is the highest scoring Finnish-born player in NHL history.
He was very good.
It was a nasty player.
I loved watching Solani.
Fair enough. Last question we got for you guys today is, who was the 2004 NHL Rookie of the Year? Barrett Jackman, Trent Hunter, Alexander Ovechkin, or Andrew Raycroft?
Raycroft, wasn't it?
I think it was. I think it was Raycroft.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was Raycroft. Because wasn't Ovechkin drafted the year after?
No, because Crosby was 05.
No? Yeah, no, okay, right. No. Okay.
But I remember something about that with Raycroft, because Raycroft had like an unreal rookie year and then goes to Toronto and then like completely craps the bed.
Yeah, I think it's Raycroft.
I mean, we're going against, the grade 8 here, but fuck, I think it's Raycroft.
Yeah.
Locking in on Raycroft, both of y'all? You both are correct. With the 2004 NHL Rookie of the Year was Boston Bruins goaltending phenomenon Andrew Raycroft, where he had a 2.05 goals against average and a .926 save percentage in 57 games.
Freaking
that's good.
Yeah, that's pretty killer. And with that is the questions I have for you guys today. And yeah, those were good ones. Chris took it away today. Tyler was kind of slacking today when it comes to those, and so overall, Chris is the winner this week. We'll come back next week to see if we can take it back.
I'll be back next week for my crown. I'll see you in the parking lot, baby.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching with us today. Have a good evening, guys.
All right. See you guys next week.
Later.
Peace.